Hey, so today's the day we're dropping the transmission and gonna figure out what exactly is causing my transmission not to go into gear while running. And so far, off camera, I've gotten the drive shaft out. It was an absolute pain in the dick because a 38-year-old C's bolts at the drive shaft are kind of a pain in the ass to pull out. But I'll go ahead and show you that. Here it is, a SA22C drive shaft. Very, very long. Almost as long as the RX-8 drive shaft, which one day I might modify one to go in this car. Let's go ahead and go under the car and show everything I gotta do. So first, you gotta pull the starter off, and then gotta loosen up the mount bolts and stuff like that. Then I'll have to pull my jack under, and then that'll support the trans. Then I have a jack stand and a piece of wood to support the engine, because the engine's only supported by the trans being bolted to it, this engine mount, and then you know, the front mount. So gotta have that there, or the engine's just gonna fall backwards, and well, I guess it could rest on the steering rack, but that wouldn't be too good now, would it? So go ahead and get to it now. Trans is out, and it was kind of a pain in the dick to get out. Kept my exhausts all connected up. Probably gonna disconnect and you know, just to make reinstallation a little bit easier. Yeah, it was pretty much a pain in the dick, but pulled a lot of stuff out. Over here I have the used throwout bearing, the pivot ball, the clutch and flywheel. And some people were saying I probably installed the clutch backwards or something like that. It says flywheel side right there, and that was on the flywheel side. So clutch was installed correctly. And let's see, oh, and the fork. I have a brand new throwout bearing right here, just to compare to this one. And see, I don't think I noticed this wear in here before when it was out. So yeah, maybe this was part of the issue. I don't know, but this one looks good, so gonna install that. Let's see, one thing I was looking at was differences between the pressure plate that I had in with the 13B and then this one. see. Now, if you look at them side by side, this one over here looks like it's a little bit taller, sitting on the ground. So maybe that might explain why my slave cylinder couldn't reach the pressure plate with the shaft that it came with, and why I had to put a bolt in for this one. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and reuse this one, and yeah, that might help a little bit. I'm also gonna go under the car. I'm gonna turn the light on because it's pretty dark. Okay, lights on. Oh shit. Now, just looking at my input shaft, looks like there's a little bit of wear where it'll ride inside of the pilot bearing. And then we're gonna go ahead, get it, turn around. Oh shit, be right back. I really gotta jack this shit up higher. There's just no fucking room to do anything in here. Okay, so like I said before, this engine was ran without a pilot bearing before, and there was a sleeve in here from the old pilot bearing that was once in here before. So I had to take a Dremel and then Dremel that sleeve out. But I think there's some residue that was left over from it, and it probably fucked up the brand new pilot bearing that's in there, and it's probably squeezing against the input shaft, which is basically seizing it against the engine. Or yeah, if that makes sense. But yeah, this that wear. Can't fucking get my arm over here. Damn it. Okay, this wear that's right here, I don't remember seeing that before when I had the when I pulled the KOB out. So I think that's from the new pilot bearing that's in this engine. So I'm going to pull that pilot bearing out. I'm just going to run without one because that's how this engine was ran before. And then install the new throwout bearing. And also with this pivot ball, I'm going to add another washer. Gonna help it reach the reach the pressure plate a little bit better, because I don't know if I'm just using the wrong clutch fork. Forgetting what shit's called right now, but yeah, just to help it reach the clutch fork a little bit better, or help the clutch fork reach the pressure plate a little bit better. So I'm just gonna add one more washer. There's like 2 washers that come with it. I'm gonna wiggle myself out of here. Yeah, I'm jacking this bitch up higher. Alright, so here is the pivot ball. And then here are the 2 washers that it had. And then the washer I'm gonna throw onto it is this little guy, or this little guy, because it actually fits over it. And yeah, see how that goes, and then I'll have a lot of fun reinstalling this trans. Yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so everything that needed to be done with the trans is now done, and the trans itself is ready to be installed. As far as the pilot bearing and clutch and pressure plate issues, tomorrow I will be picking up a new pilot bearing from O'Reilly's. They didn't have any in stock today, but right after I finished doing everything you just saw me do with the trans, I took a bit of a break. It started raining a little bit, so I didn't want to keep working in it. So went and made some food and got on the forums and just posted what my findings were with the clutch and pressure plate and all that shit. And some people brought up some very valid points that even though this engine was ran without a pilot bearing, that running without one is still just plain stupid. And I 100% agree. And I'm going to give it another shot because I think there's 2 possibilities. 1, the E-shaft is what fucked up the pilot bearing. 2, I'm what fucked up the pilot bearing, and I probably tapped it in a little bit too hard and fucked up those roll pins by squishing the sleeve. Because when I put my finger in, the roll pins just don't roll, so they're seized in place, and that is bad. It is very, very bad. And I know some of you may be wondering why my face is now shaved when it wasn't before. During my break, my hair on my neck and chin and shit was bugging me, so I went and shaved, and I shaved a little bit too much of my mustache, so that's why I don't have a mustache anymore. But it'll be back in a few days, so enough about my personal hygiene shit. Tomorrow I'll go pick up that pilot bearing, and we'll go from there. But for now, I'm gonna end this video, and till next time.